Good morning! After about 2 hours and 115 miles, I'm here at the Loveland Pass / Continental Divide. And I'm going to be going for 3 13ers today. Mount Sniktau, and then Cupid, and then I'm going to finish it up with Grizzly Peak. It's just past 6:30. I'm one of 3 cars up here, and one of the cars, I can tell the people are just up here taking pictures, so they're not even hiking. This trail doesn't joke around, it starts going straight up, but we're going to be up there in no time. It's right there. This looks really easy actually to get up to Sniktau. I can see why it's so popular. Now getting over to Grizzly Peak, on the other hand, way more savage. That's definitely going to be the grand finale of the hike today. I'm partway up Mount Sniktau, and it is extremely windy up here. I'm sitting behind a little windbreak, but this wind is literally blowing me over, and it's to my back right now. When I come back this way, it's going to be right in my face. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get those other 2 peaks or not. This is intense. And as I top out over one of these hills, the wind just completely stops. From like 30 miles an hour to 0. That was insane. I'm up on the false summit. That's looking over at Mount Sniktau. So I'm almost there. That's only going to take maybe 15 or 20 minutes. And then I'm going to head back this exact same way and extend it out onto Cupid and hopefully Grizzly Peak. I don't know, this wind is really brutal up here. I'm freezing. Up here on the summit of Mount Sniktau. And if I sound funny, it's because my mouth is probably frozen. It is cold. That wind is whipping. But we're up here. And this did not take very long at all from that false summit. I'm thinking like 15 minutes, if that. I was up here in no time. It only took me about an hour and 15 minutes to hike up here, and that was with stopping for 10 minutes to film the sunrise, taking a few breaks to thaw out behind those windbreaks, So I mean, in all honesty, this is one of the easiest 13ers you're gonna get. This isn't hard at all. But it's absolutely amazing up here. What a summit. It's really cool that I got the whole thing to myself too. Found a little spot out of the wind here up on the summit of Mount Sniktau, and my hands are frozen right now. And I even have gloves on, and they're inside my pockets. Well, they're not right now, but they have been. That's looking out on the Cupid and Grizzly Peak. And I don't know about that today. Unless this wind dies down or something, I really don't know. We're definitely going to get Cupid though, that looks easy. However, Grizzly Peak behind it, not so much. Looks a little more difficult. Well, it's a few minutes past 8 o'clock, so I'm going to keep this hike moving, and I'm going to start heading back down from Sniktau, back over across to Cupid. The wind has finally died down a little bit as I make my way over here to Cupid, and this is really easy. Almost on top of Cupid. In less than 1 hour, I've descended down Sniktau and made it up here to the summit of Cupid. I only got one 13er left, Grizzly Peak, and that looks like the hardest one by far. Although I should still be able to get up there in about an hour, I'm thinking. Finally out of the wind for a second as I make my way down from Cupid and over to Grizzly Peak. This is the third and final 13er of the day, if I can get up there. And then I gotta head back the exact same way. But this is pretty easy out here, I'm gonna say. I mean, it's just past 9:15 right now, and I've already bagged 2 13ers, so yeah, this is great. And as soon as I get out of the wind, then I have a plane flying right over my head. That's the one good thing about the wind, man, is it drowns out those godforsaken planes. final section right there. And that looks atrocious. That looks terrible. And in less than 1 hour, I've made it down from Cupid and up to the summit of Grizzly Peak. And those two big ones back there are Tories and Grays. I already did them. And that's looking back at Cupid, Mount Sniktau. Wow, those look far away. Got a nice break in the wind up here on the summit of Grizzly Peak. And that little summit push was pretty brutal. It was really steep. And although the terrain was loose, it was still pretty solid, if you know what I mean. Oh, look at the color of that lake down there, that's pretty. And as I pan around, you got the two big boys, Grays and Tories. Beasts. Been sitting up here at the summit of Grizzly Peak for about 30 minutes, but it's about 10:45, so I'm going to start heading down. making my way back over Cupid for the second time. And let me tell you, it's much more difficult the second time around when you're nice and tired. And looking over here at this next hump, there's no need to go up and over it. There's this nice shortcut down to the left. It's going to keep the elevation nice and low. No need to go up and over. This shortcut is so nice. It is so much better than being way up there. And after only about 10 minutes, I'm back to the main trail. And I'm going to be down to the trailhead in no time. I can't even explain how awesome that shortcut was just now. That was fantastic. Alright guys, it's about 12:15 and we're back to the trailhead at 5 hours and 45 minutes, and I just rocked out 3 13ers. And that was really awesome. I'm shocked that I did that in under 6 hours. And if my face looks a little white and crusty, it's because I actually did use sunscreen today. I had to ditch the hat. It would have got blown straight off my head. And I had to go with the stocking cap because it was cold. So since I had no shade, I knew I was going to get hammered with that sun. So I went ahead and put some sunscreen on. First time in, I don't even know how many years I've used sunscreen. And now I'm going to enjoy this nice ride home. Except I do have to go through Denver. And I am about ready to bust this open. Normally when I drink one of these, it's not a good mix for then driving through Denver later. I mean, that stuff is like Four Loko to me. I get crazy. I hope you enjoyed the video, and until the next one, y'all, peace.